Two recent cases involving police officials using excessive force on teenagers have surfaced. One case involved a number of black children who were at a pool, a public pool at the Fairfield Aquatic Center in Ohio. The second story involves a teenage boy who was tased multiple times by a San Diego deputy. Both incidents were caught on tape. Now let's take a look at the Fairfield Aquatic Center issue. It all started when a mother took 8 children, some were her own children, some were her nieces and nephews, to a public pool. And apparently one of the children was not wearing the appropriate swimwear in order to be in the pool. So as a result, according to multiple reports, he was notified that he's not allowed to be in the pool until he changes. So unfortunately, the situation escalated from there. The details between that moment and the moment where the police arrived are a little murky, to say the least, but apparently the cops showed up and things unfortunately escalated very, very quickly, okay? The mother in this case said that she went to go get the bathing suit, that there wasn't supposed to be any type of problem, but the staff working at the pool wasn't having any of it. They wanted them out, they wanted them to leave, so she was supposed to leave, and then that was when she was approached by police officials, and this is what allegedly happened. Take a look.
What is he doing?
It just fucking makes me in my mouth. I am. It's making for no reason.
Let go of the gate.
Let go. Let go. Let go.
Just let go of the gate. Get away from the officers. Let go of the gate. Let go of the gate. I can set you in the air.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
You stop.
Yes, we have right.
Get off the gate. You don't have a right to be on the gate. Get off the gate. Sit. Sit.
We have right.
Sit down.
We have right.
You're under officer feet.
It don't take 3 of y'all.
Stop fighting and resisting us.
Just stop.
Put your hand behind your back.
So from that incident, a 13-year-old girl, actually a 12-year-old girl, was sent to the hospital because she had a fractured jaw and broken ribs. In the video surveillance, you can see that she was grabbed by the neck by one of the police officials and slammed against a car. That was probably when she broke some bones. And according to reports, 2 adults were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. A 12-year-old girl was charged with assault and resisting arrest, while a 15-year-old was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. I watched the full video. At this point, there's only one video available. The cops say that they have a video as well that they're going to use for evidence to reinforce their side of the story. But I got to be honest with you, they were resisting arrest, okay? I don't know what happened prior to the video being filmed, okay? So I don't know if the cops caused it to escalate or if they caused it to escalate. But the question is, does it make sense for cops to take a 12-year-old girl and slam her against something by the neck to the point where she breaks some bones? I mean, that's excessive force.
Okay, so first, don't take anybody's word on either side as the final
truth.
word, right?
Yeah.
So now, the mainstream media usually does that with the cops. Whatever the cops say, they say, that's it, that's gold, we're done with it, right? But we shouldn't make the same mistake and say, okay, that means by definition the people at the pool who were arrested are absolutely right. So the reason there's a level of complexity here is because we're all humans, right? So it seems like what started it was an incredibly minor infraction. So
Right.
I'm on the side of the people being arrested here in that regard. So the kid jumps in the pool in his shorts instead of in a swimming suit. Okay, that's against the rules. I know why people might be annoyed by that, but that's not a federal offense. We can all calm down over it. The mom says, hey, I'm going to go get the swimming suit
Right.
and I'm going to bring it back. I think that's her nephew, right? It's 10 minutes. I live 10 minutes from here. She lives there, right? So I'm going to go get the swimming suit. I'm going to, no, you have to leave the premises. Now, here's where it gets unclear. How do they react to that? We don't have that on tape.
Exactly.
So if they flipped out over that, and then we've got, a situation where somebody's got to call 911 because they don't know what's going to happen, right? Well, okay, that makes it complicated, right? Now, when cops say disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, that's a red flag for me because those are the go-to moves for, I don't know why, I forgot why I was arresting them in the first place. Let's call it disorderly conduct, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to add on the charge of resisting arrest. Sometimes they forget to do an initial charge, and they'll be like, you were resisting arrest. For what? I don't know, I was arresting you and you resisted it, right? But sometimes you get mad and you resist it because you're like, what the hell are you arresting me for?
That's exactly right. And when you look at the video, they're clearly resisting arrest. And it's interesting because the same video that's being utilized as evidence by the people who've been arrested is also the same video that's being utilized by police officials because they're like, no, this reinforces our point. And I actually see the perspective of both sides because it is chaotic. They aren't listening to the police officials, but the unfortunate part of this story is I don't know what happened to get it to escalate to that point. So where did the disorderly conduct come from? Did they just randomly start acting disorderly, or did the police officials do something that triggered it? I don't know. No one knows at this point.
Okay, because part of our problem here is the thing that we always come back to, which is that unfortunately, it appears that a lot of times our police officers are not taught to de-escalate a situation. I'm sure that if I had someone who's running a police department here, they'd say, no, that's not true. We teach them how to de-escalate. But time after time, we have a military-like response, and things get worse. They get more animated rather than calmer, right? So if I'm an officer and I go there, and I go, okay, well, hey, what's the underlying problem here? Hey, guys, everybody, let me hear both sides, right? So if the minute you say that, perhaps you disarm, in a sense, both sides getting even more emotional. Oh, okay, you say that this guy jumped in without a swimming suit. You say you were going to go get a swimming suit. Do you get that you shouldn't have jumped in with a swimming suit? Do you get that it's not the world, the world's not going to end if he jumps in his shorts, right? So we don't know that part. That's not on tape. But, I mean, the fact that it got to the level that it did leads you to believe there wasn't a lot of effort done in that direction. Now, to me, the most important piece of evidence that we do have on tape is the random white guy in the swimming suit holding the black girl. Okay.
Yes.
So it reminds me of the same thing that happened in McKinney, Texas, with the white guy going around telling the cops who to pick on, right? Like, now he's a citizen. This guy in the swimming suit appears to be a citizen. Why is he holding down the girl? What right does he have to hold down a girl, right?
It's incredible because, I mean, just imagine if authorities are arresting like a group of white people for something that they're doing, right? And then all of a sudden a black person shows up and
starts holding down a 12-year-old white girl.
It's inconceivable that would go down well, okay?
So, seriously, imagine white cops. They've got an issue and they're not happy with a 12-year-old white girl. They're trying to get her under control. And then a black guy shows up, an adult black guy, and starts holding people down. You're like, what are you doing, man?
It's unacceptable.
But that goes to the point that I'm making, which is that the cops feel like he's on their side. So if you come in with the assumption, I'm on the side of the people who call these people to get thrown out of the pool, that's it, I'm on their side. Right. I'm on their side. Are you surprised that the other side gets mad? Are you surprised that you've helped to create a situation that's more volatile? And please, I know, look, if you're trying to get her off and you've now decided that you're going to arrest her, right or wrong, yes, you have to be more patient. You do, because 12-year-olds are brittle. And sometimes you can break their jaw if you slam them somewhere. Even if you didn't do it like, oh, boom, like it's not as bad as McKinney. I know, and McKinney body slams her, right? Luckily, she didn't break anything, right? But it's a 12-year-old girl. Be careful. It's not too much to ask. So here she is in the hospital, and the mom, by the way, was 6 months pregnant. She was also arrested. And so we'll have to see how bad the injuries are a couple of days later. There's no injuries on the mom who's pregnant, but she was also, subdued, and she also went to the hospital just to check things out. But she's fine, okay? The 12-year-old girl is not fine. Another part of the story that drove me crazy is They claim, the police do, at one point, one of our officers felt his gun was being taken away from him. Come on, man. Every story, they reach for my gun. They reach for my gun. So, like, that part I don't believe. I don't believe it. No way. Like, what is this? Is there, I mean, JR, is there a school for African-American children where they're taught to reach for an officer's gun? It seems like a great idea. That happens all the time, right?
Talking about how, I started signing up my son for the Reach for the Cops gun class. It's a part of the community center. They offer it.
Yeah.
Starting at 3.
Yeah, nobody's reaching. Look, I shouldn't say nobody. People could get agitated.
Yeah.
They can make a mistake, etc. But this whole idea that every time there's an altercation with a cop, they were reaching for my gun. I just don't believe you anymore. I just don't believe you, okay? So I know it's different cops, but you know what? The training is the same or very similar in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And one of the things they teach you is if you ever get in trouble, pretend they were reaching for your gun, okay? So then you're allowed to do whatever you want. And in this case, the cops are like, what do you mean? We had extreme restraint. They reached for the gun and we didn't murder them.
Yeah.
Not guilty. Come on, they weren't reaching for. I'm very skeptical about the 12-year-olds thinking it's a good idea to reach for the cop's gun. I mean, of course, if you're a young black person in America, it seems like you'd think, yeah, no problem. Let me reach for a white officer's gun. That won't lead to any trouble. Yeah, not credible.